You are now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station bringing you the realest entertainment, information, music, lifestyle, and truth in comedy shows around. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Welcome. Shout out to my new listeners and my own ones, day ones. This is your season 1 finale of Let's Talk podcast with, of course, your host, Tony Williams. Now, all information and resources are based on the opinions of the host unless otherwise noted. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire thought, positive change, and a healthier lifestyle. Now, this podcast contains some quotations, images, and excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. Fair use refers to the right to reproduce, use, and share. Now, this is a live broadcast. If you would like to call in, On One Radio's call-in number is 318-315-3971. Again, that is 318-315-3971. I must inform you that this call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance purposes. Your continued participation in this telephone serves as express consent to be monitored or recorded. All right. Now, like I said, this is the season 1 finale. This has been a long 1 year, but a great one. And I appreciate everyone who has been supporting On One Radio since day one. Hence the term On One's Day Ones. Yes. If you're not following, please do. If your friends don't know, family don't know, let them know. We're about to go into our second season, a new year, which means bigger, better things to come. More topics, more events, all that good stuff. So you guys and gals hang around. All right, because it's going to go down for season 2. Well, for the finale, our topic, if you have not read the title, it's season 1 finale, Jean family lawsuit and pregnant transgender couple, and what effect it has on society going into the new year. Well, it has a lot of effects that are going to take place. Society has already been affected in so many different ways. From the children to the elderly to the poor class, the working class, and everyone in between. Not only does what happens affects one person, but it sends shockwaves out. Whether you can see them, feel them, hear them, or not, they are there. Everything that happens, there's a consequence. Cause and effect. Let's say that. So, and with all this going on, oh my gosh, there are a lot of effects. I mean, if you don't know, Botham Jean was killed in his apartment by an off-duty Dallas police officer, Amber Geiger, who in turn was convicted of his murder this year. And well, of course, you know, with that going on, which didn't sit right, and it left a very nasty taste in most people's mouths, well, especially the family. And you can't blame them. I can't blame them. I really can't. No money in financial gain is not going to replace a life, but it's how we would consider and say a bought lesson. Can we say that? Yeah? All right. If you guys are not following on all the social media sites, please do so. And if you are new and you would like to follow along on YouTube, the name is Tony On One. All right? So, continuing. Now, okay, so there was a lawsuit, a civil suit. All right? Came about, and, well, let's just say the city of Dallas dismissed that shit. They were not trying to hear shit about a wrongful death. Although it may be true, but they're not trying to hear it and they're not trying to take responsibility for it. Now, it came before a judge. Judge Barbara Lynn dismissed the wrongful death case with prejudice on Monday. The dismissal of the case against the city is because John's family failed to state a claim. Now, that's what the court records show. I don't know about y'all, but that shit sounds fishy to me. Because you have a family member that, this woman killed him. She was in her uniform. And, it's kind of a known fact that even when you're off the clock, being a police officer, technically you're still on the damn clock, right? Right. Okay, so now I'm at a fucking loss. How? Just tell me how can this just skate by like this? But it's happening. So there we have it. Now, the lawsuit was filed on behalf of the Jean family. Oh, we have a caller. Is it our special guest? And I do believe it is. On One Radio, this is Tony speaking. Who am I speaking with?
Tony.
Hi.
What's happening?
Oh man, we are full steam ahead. We are full steam ahead. Yes, you called at just the right time too. Let's go for it.
All right. So, what topic we tackling right now?
We are on the civil lawsuit. Oh, and for the listeners, this is Richard Ogbu. He is a fellow YouTuber. So if you do not have him, please show my brother some love and go over there and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Richard Ogbu. All right. Go for it, bro.
All right. Yeah. This is a very interesting topic to me.
Yes.
Because I actually live here in Dallas.
Right.
So, this, for those who don't know, the lawyer for both of John's family, Lee Merritt, was actually saying something that the forgiveness, in a way, was to hopefully lead into the civil lawsuit.
Ah, wow.
And I picked that up from an exchange that he had with Tariq Nasheed, who is the creator of the Hidden Colors DVD series.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That series of DVDs is a series about things regarding the black community that a lot of people either don't know or don't pay attention to.
Right.
Or they realize it, or it's like, wait a minute, oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Anyway, very interesting series. I have all 5 DVDs myself. As I wouldn't call myself a scholar, but I call myself still learning.
Right.
There's a whole lot in this world to learn, and sometimes it's mind-blowing.
It is.
But anyway, the civil lawsuit, as we know, was dismissed by the city of Dallas.
Right.
That case has been dismissed, which means that the city of Dallas is not going to hold the police department responsible.
Although they should, but they're apparently not.
But here's the thing. I'm kind of 50-50 on it.
Are you?
Part of me says they should, but what screwed them over happens to be the forgiveness angle.
Yes.
Let's think about this for a second. If we all use common sense here, Amber Geiger was 1, found guilty of the murder.
Correct.
2, she went to the wrong apartment to actually kill this man in the first place. 3, no door was left open. You cannot leave those doors open.
Speak on.
So with all of that being said, she went in there and did that, but the forgiveness at the court, when Brent Jean, the 18-year-old brother of both of Jean, said he did not want to see her go to jail,
That screwed them royally.
Absolutely.
Like royally screwed
Yeah,
them.
it really did.
It makes no sense.
Them to levels that they couldn't even deem possible.
Right. It's like, what did you expect? Okay, you say that and then you go sue them. First of all, you don't do that.
This is probably saying, are these people stupid?
I'm pretty sure they are, because that was a very dumbass move. First of all, don't publicly say it. You don't tell your left hand what the hell your right hand is doing, first and fucking foremost.
Not only that, you will never see, here's the clearest example. You will never see a Jew forgiving a German for the Holocaust.
Correct. Correct.
But yet, for some reason, sometimes black people forgive their oppressor, forgive their killer, and a lot of that is rooted in Christianity.
Yeah, a lot of it is. Majority of it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, the thing is, even though it is, Christianity is something that was forced on black people during slavery. And it was not forced so that way black people's souls could be saved. Remember, it was forced to make the people who were slaves, the black people who were slaves, more obedient.
It was a form of control, and
Of course.
which is still relevant today.
And actually look up I want to say the Latin meaning of the word religion is to control.
Pretty much.
Look it up.
Pretty much. That's what that is. That is exactly what that is. And for them to go that route, there was no way that that lawsuit was ever going to be successful. Now,
At all.
although the city of Dallas was dismissed from Botham's wrongful death, Amber Geiger is now the lone defendant in the civil case. But here's the problem with that.
Amber Geiger ain't got no money.
Not only that, but two, the same principle is going to go for her civil suit. The forgiveness and everything that was said, everything was demonstrated, is going to throw a huge ass monkey wrench in the dealings. But what's interesting is the excuse that was used to dismiss the case against the city. Now, the dismissal of the case against the city is because John's family, quote unquote, failed to state a claim. Now, that's what the court records show.
What?
Yes. They failed to state a claim. That is...
Claim on what?
That's the point. That is my whole point right there. They filed a suit for wrongful death. So how is it that they did not state a claim?
Yeah, that's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
How do you state a claim and get this on the docket? I mean, how do you not state the claim and get this on the docket? It doesn't make sense, because if it's on the docket, then shouldn't that be viewed as a claim?
But you know what? That part is flawed. That part is flawed, but the most important thing is the forgiveness angle is where they play themselves.
Very much so.
Because see, after you forgive someone for killing your loved one, then you want to go back and sue? It's like, no.
Yeah. I mean, that is crazy.
Realistically, I could see them being in the courtroom and saying, didn't you forgive her? Well, yes, we forgave her. Then what are you suing for? Get out.
Especially the statement of him not wanting to see her go to prison.
Exactly.
Also, the family making this statement, well, excuse me, him making the statement that that's not what his brother would have wanted. All that goes together in
Mm-hmm.
some type of way, out of
Mm-hmm.
fuckery. This shit has gotten missed. How do you miss this? How do you not? It seems as if this would be some
How you
common
miss what?
sense. How do you miss when you're making plans for this situation? How do you come up with, okay, well, we're gonna forgive and we're gonna publicize that. We're gonna do the whole hug in court. We're gonna cry together. We're gonna do this whole 9 yards, and then decide, okay, you want to sue. How do you miss that in the planning process?
Because somewhere in the planning process, I don't know if that was exactly, that couldn't have been the plan. That couldn't have been the plan because that young man, Malcolm's little brother Brent, was 18 years old. And if someone coerced him to do it, he should have said, no, I'm a grown man, and that's not what I'm feeling.
Well, you know what happens in situations like that now. Okay, now this lawyer you were talking about, what is his name? What was his name again?
I think it's S. Lee Merritt. I know
S.
Lee
Lee
Merritt is
Merritt.
what he goes by, but on Twitter and Facebook, I believe it's S. Lee Merritt.
Okay, so was this his idea? And they just went
Um,
along with it?
I think he helped orchestrate it because I wonder, the closer we got to the actual trial, they're talking about both of Jean Foundation. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself told me that something was really strange about that.
Yeah. And then on Friday, now, pardon me, the attorneys for the Jean family filed a notice of appeal. Now, court documents state Jean's parents believe the city of Dallas should be held responsible for their son's death. Now, the notice of appeal was submitted by attorneys Darrell K. Washington and S. Lee Merritt. So it's some more help in there. It's some more help.
No, he needs some help.
Yeah, clearly. Lee Merritt definitely needs some help because my opinion, I mean, I might be wrong, but I feel that in most situations like this, when it comes to a lawyer, the family is going to tend to listen to the lawyer and kind of go with his expertise on shit because he is the lawyer and he's getting paid. They're paying him for this, so they're more than likely or pretty much went with this because that's usually how it goes. Because other than that, what's the point in hiring the lawyer?
True.
So that's why I say, okay, now you say he orchestrated. There we go. And not only that, I really believe that was his whole rules about it. But it just does not make any type of sense. How did they think this was going to turn out? Were they?
Something in the prop, you know what it is?
What?
Once again, religion is a major culprit, a major influence.
That's true.
Say you forgive the girl. You have the Both Jean Foundation. You have people say, "Oh, he forgave her. Oh, that's so sweet." And then let's give money to the foundation. You know that kind of crap.
Yeah, and that could be viewed a lot of different ways.
Right, and the way I'm viewing it as that backfiring first class.
Yeah. And I am suspicious of Lee Merritt. I don't care what nobody says. I'm suspicious. Because his actions and the way he's doing things. Because, I mean, him as a person, I don't know the man. But him as a professional, he's very questionable. And he's suspect. Yeah, he's suspect in a motherfucker in my book. I wouldn't hire his ass. Because to me, that's a goof up.
Because realistically, as I'm sitting there thinking about it, I know whenever there's police brutality cases, especially in Fort Worth, someone's been roughed up, you always hear his name around it.
Right. Right.
But what I'm trying to think of is when his actions actually led to a conviction.
See, that's my thing. I haven't seen. I mean,
and when I say conviction, I mean a just and fair conviction. I don't mean like in the case of Amber, guy who's getting 10 years, but because she's a cop, she may get out in 5 for good behavior, which means more likely she'll get out in 3.
If not
because
sooner.
This forgiveness angle, hell, they might just actually
let her out.
I'm still amazed they actually put in for an appeal.
Yeah, they did. They put in for an appeal.
So if they appeal the murder conviction because on the grounds of the family forgiving her and saying it's an accident, if she gets out, oh my goodness, there's going to be some smoke in the city.
It's like crazy.
That being said, the Second Amendment is for all of us. Go out and get something before they change the rules.
Huh. You're right about that part. You're right about that part because, I mean, we're not protected.
No, we're not protected.
Like, there's nobody protecting us. You have a lot of these snakes, and I say snakes literally because so many of these people who are claiming to be about justice, it's not really about justice, it's about monetary gain. They could care less.
It was never about justice.
Right, they could care less.
They are the biggest gang in the country.
Right.
In the blue line. But of course, even that has its holes in it because blue lives matter only works if your skin is not black.
Correct. That is correct. It's so many loopholes and it's just so much fuckery.
Every loophole still points to racism.
Yes, it does.
Either you stick with the majority or they're going to keep you as a minority.
That's true. And when you look at this situation, you think of, okay, we're on the verge of going into 2020. Is this what our 2020 is going to look like?
It may end up being worse.
See, that was my thought yesterday. I was sitting outside looking at the trees and I was just thinking, if we go back to the beginning of this year, how many lives have been lost? How many families have suffered? And how many more going into 2020 are going to have to suffer before something is actually done? Now, we spoke about this on the last show. And then some of it we spoke after the show. Because we got a little gritty with it. But
to be totally honest with you?
Yeah.
Before anything truly impactful is done, it's going to take something truly impactful.
Right.
From the people.
Right.
Because if nothing impactful happens from the people, they're going to assume they can keep doing it. It's kind of like, it's like a bully. What does a bully do? A bully preys on the weak. A bully continues to prey on the weak.
Right.
Until someone tells that bully, yo, look, you can't do what you're doing, and follows it up by punching the bully in the nose.
Right.
Not just any bully, excuse me, but the bully who has been tormenting you.
Right. That's the only way they'll stop.
Right, because if you don't hit that bully in his damn nose,
he's gonna keep bullying your ass.
Exactly.
But it's like, okay, if we are the people, why are we not standing up? Why is there only a handful of us?
Easy answer.
Go for it.
Mental conditioning.
Ah, true. So true.
We can look at that in a different handful of ways.
Of course. from childhood on up. It is a conditioning.
But you know what? I'm going to break it down in certain groups.
Okay.
Certain groups from the black community.
Right.
Have those who say they're just going to pray about it.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a girl I dated 5 years ago. Because I remember I was agonizing when Tamir Rice, who ironically is 5 days younger than my own son, and Eric Garner got killed in 2014. I remember agonizing, stressing over it. And she's like, what's wrong? So I told her. I said, this is crazy. I mean, it makes me, as a black man, nervous. Because this cop killed this little boy who's my son's age, and this other cop killed this big black man who, in a way, reminded me of me.
Right.
Her response was, we just have to pray that the police stop doing it. I looked at her, and I was like, yeah, okay. And I knew right then and there, even though we got along great, had fun, had laughs, spent a lot of time together and all that. But I knew right then and there I was going to break up with her. I knew it.
I kind of figured that myself, knowing you, because you do have to you have to be strong.
Right.
Mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Yeah, this ain't going to last. The first time we had a quarrel, I was done. I didn't talk to her for like 3-4 days. She called me, so what are we doing? We together, we're not together, or whatever? I said, I guess we're not together. She's like, yeah, okay. I said, okay, fine. That was in January 2015.
Oh, that was easy. No fight at all, huh?
Actually, I think I sent her a text on her birthday, which was April 22nd, wishing her happy birthday. She said, thank you. She said, oh my God, you remember? I said, yep. That was it. Haven't heard from her since. That was a whole 4.5 years ago.
But you're right about that. There are so many people that are just simply satisfied and content with just saying that, but are not willing to put forth any work. Because,
that's just one group.
Yeah, that's true. What's the other?
Another group, let's go with the young thugs and gangbangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those who are supposedly about it. Now, if you about it and you're willing to kill somebody over a block that you don't even own, you're lucky if you pay rent late every month. That's if you can even get anything in your name, but yet you're willing to fight with another gang over a block.
Yeah.
But yet you don't own anything. You don't have any wealth. But then if somebody does something, you're talking, but you're not willing to actually go there. You can fight other black people, shoot other black people, you go to jail for that. I'm sorry, if I'm going to go to jail, I'm going to go to jail for something meaningful.
Right. Right.
I shot Mookie down 4 blocks down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do something because, it's something that's truly needed. People forget who the real oppressor, the real enemy is. They totally forget. They don't get it.
Well, that's because they're too busy worrying about the next pair of Jordans, a PlayStation 5, how many hoes they can fuck, which dude disrespected them, like you said, which block they own, which they don't have any deeds to shit, and sagging rims, cars, and a piece of money, because they're not even getting real money. So that part is very saddening. It's sickening and saddening to know the weakness of our men like that.
Right.
So what's the other group?
Well, those are the two main ones. Then,
Okay.
of course, everybody else, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get involved kind of deal.
Nonchalant is not happening to me.
Nonchalant.
Wait, it's that it's...
It won't do anything.
Right, it's not happening to me, so why the fuck should I care?
Mm-hmm.
selfishness.
And see, that nonchalant group, that kind of covers the rest of the population, regardless of color.
Yeah, because that's a pretty large damn group.
It is.
That's a very large group. And that's sad. It really is. It's sad. It's almost like you have, or do you have nothing else, more important? It's like this stuff does pertain to you because it's going to pertain to you as an elder. It pertains to you when it comes to your children, your grandchildren.
Right.
It's like it's not just about just you.
And people totally ignore that fact. They don't realize it.
They don't care. I mean, it's like like you said, they want to holler at. They don't care about down in the street or anything like that. But yeah, it's just it's sad. It's sad. But it seems to be this is what we have to look forward to because, I mean, if something is not done, if a change does not come, it is going to get worse. And 2020 is going to be brutal because at some point, I mean, you can't just keep holding it inside. You can't keep being afraid because even a cat, you corner a cat, that cat is going to come out of corner kicking your ass to get the hell up out that corner. And then you can't put the cat to sleep because you did it.
Collectively, we need to be that cat.
Right. But so many don't get along for that.
Collectively, we have no political power.
True that, because so many are lax and lazy when it comes to their actual citizenship. So they play no part or role in really making any decisions. They're not interested in that.
Also goes a little bit deeper than that, too.
Hey, I was scratching the surface. I was going to let you do the digging.
You truly were. Because if you go deeper than that level, the next level would be... Wait a minute, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's a lot going on. It'll do it.
Say that last part you said again.
Oh shit! Which part about them not?
The very last part. Very last thing.
About people not being interested.
Yes. Okay. See, what it is this. Like you said, people are not interested because they don't feel like it affects them.
Right.
Another thing is, for the people who do quote unquote vote, so many people are used to just voting one way that they don't question it. They don't demand and say, you know what? I'll just be giving you my vote just because.
Just to get it over with.
What am I going to get for voting for you? What are me and my people going to get?
Mm-hmm. But they don't dig deep like that.
And that's why we are probably the least served group of individuals on the planet.
Well, yeah, and then majority of us don't get along. Half of us don't like each other to even be able to sit down and have a parlay and say, hey, look, let's have a round table and discuss some real issues here. What are we going to do about this? Let's come together on this.
That is the perfection of the divide and conquer tactic.
It is, but it's that conditioning, though, as well.
Yeah.
And that's what it leads to.
You're conditioned to not agree with one another. You're conditioned to look at someone who looks like you, who comes from the same street as you, as your enemy.
Right. And then everyone suffers for it. Everyone truly suffers for that.
Yeah.
But when you have so many people who don't care, or they're disinterested in the real, and they're more interested in what's fun, you're definitely going to have this type of thing constantly happening because they're disinterested they're not giving any thought, they're not going to give any effort, they're not going to give any time into trying to understand what is actually going on because they're so worried about, let's see, let's just throw some shit out there. How big Nicki Minaj's ass is. Or what's the hottest new jeans. Or who got a new ass today.
And you know what's funny about the new jeans and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
They're so quick to follow somebody else. And
right.
A manufacturer who doesn't give a fuck about the black people who are spending the money.
No, not at all. They just want the money. They don't give a shit about us. It's about the money.
And speaking of the money, did you know that black Americans, I really hate the term African Americans, black Americans spending power is equal to the 10th largest country in the world in spending?
Yes. Yes, I believe that.
The 10th largest country in the world. There's only 200 some countries.
But you know why? The reason why is not because people are investing. It's not because people are setting aside for their future.
People are blowing money fast.
They're wearing their wealth on their arms, their necks, their fingers, their feet, their skin. That's where their worth and wealth goes. That's why there's so many who are not living comfortable. That's why there's so many people who can't seem to get shit together.
That's the priorities.
Right. It's disinterested. They're only worried about what's hot, what's in, what's fun, what's going to get them noticed. But at the same time, they're setting themselves up and the rest of the race for failure. That's why we don't have any power. Because we're too worried about, let's see, back in the day it was Dayton's and booty shorts. Now it's a different type of rims and a different type of coochie cutters.
You know what else is funny too?
What's that?
Any other group of people, their leaders are business people.
Right. True business.
Unfortunately, our leaders, in most cases, are pastors.
You know, I was thinking about that, about a week ago? That started popping out to me a week ago of how most of them are actually pastors, ministers, and everything like that. And so there's a certain tone and tempo to them, and it's just basically a lot of them. I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them, which is a good amount, they're following the Bible and those who speak of it blindly without using some common sense. And which is leading to the turn the other cheek.
Yep. Turn the other cheek, forgive. Someone kills your family member, tell her you forgive.
But how many times can you turn a cheek and you getting hit? You turn to the right, you getting the fuck knocked out of you. You turn to the left, you getting the fuck knocked out of you. You ain't got no more cheeks. So now what?
That's a very good question. And I know if it were me, I'm not turning no cheeks.
Why should I hurt myself because someone else decides to be foolish?
True.
I mean, you have to take the lesser of the evil, which is either keep taking an ass whooping or go ahead and get in the game, fight it out, to not have to take any more ass whoopings, period.
Correct.
This is my thing.
Like I said, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take an uprising. It's going to take people who have targeted us, people who have done things, to get bucked back on.
Because other than
that,
that,
to get clapped back at directly. Because when you clap back at them
Yeah. Because, I mean,
Remember
that's...
a couple of years ago they had a Black Lives Matter rally here in downtown Dallas?
Yeah. I
And
didn't
they
even
said
go.
some dude, Micah X. Johnson, shot up and shot at the cops and killed a few of the cops.
Yeah.
You do know that Micah X. Johnson thing was bullcrap, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so much crap out there. They try to flood.
But you know what?
They try to
Let me tell you
cover
how
up
I know it's
everything.
bullcrap. I know somebody who was at the rally and she actually saw some dude changing his clothes and had a long rifle next to him while she was scrambling trying to get away.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, consider the name Micah X. Johnson.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's really close to Malcolm X. And Johnson is one of the more common black names in America.
Well, that tends to happen when people make up names. That tends to happen.
Let me take it a step further. The young man's Facebook page was only open for 3 days.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with the murderer who did the massacre in the gay club in Orlando.
Uh-huh.
This thing was only open for 3 days before that massacre.
Right.
Also, back to this whole Micah X. Johnson thing. They said, and this is the part which strikes me as funny, they had him trapped in one of the levels of the parking lot, and they sent a motorized robot with a bomb attached to it to blow this dude up.
Bullshit.
Exactly. That's
Bullshit.
Because when have they ever sent a motorized bomb to kill any black man?
They don't. They rather shoot them.
Right. They'd rather shoot them directly. No issue. Because they know all they got to do is say that they fear for their life. And if you blew up a man with a bomb, how did his ID survive?
And let me throw this in there. If you blew up a man, you're going to cost yourself money. Because if you're going to blow up a parking garage, that means it's going to have to be rebuilt, repaired, whatever. Other lives are in the mix because you don't know who else is up there.
True.
So, I mean, all of it is bullshit because they want to try to drown out what is really going on. It's like when you make a little kid a plate, right? And you don't want to put the dessert on the plate, on the dinner plate, because then they're going to go straight for the dessert. So you put all the bullshit you want them to eat first out there.
Right.
Because if they go ahead and eat all that, then they're going to be too full and they're going to forget about that dessert.
I'm full. I don't want any more.
Exactly. So if you bog the world's mind down with bullshit, what is it going to do?
You won't be able to pay attention to the real issues.
Exactly. It's going to drown it out. It's going to avert your mind from the real issue to bullshit. That's why I can't do the excess popular people shit, because they focus on bullshit.
Which, that reminds me, the book I'm reading right now.
Yes.
Dr. Cynthia McKinney.
Okay.
She was actually in the House of Representatives.
Yes.
And actually, I think she said she ran for president in 2008. I want to say it was under the Green Party. She actually wrote this book. She's written 3 books. But this particular one is called How the U.S. Creates Shithole Countries.
I've got to cop that book.
You get on Amazon.
Oh, yes.
Either do the Kindle thing or order it and they deliver it to your door.
Oh, I've got to check that out. But I mean, it's like, this is all the shit that it doesn't make any sense. And if this is 2019, I don't want to be looking at this same bullshit come 2020. I don't want to be doing the season 2 finale, all right, and we're talking about the same type of shit. I really would like to see a change. I really would.
I would too. Speaking of a change, wasn't there another topic that we were going to jump on?
Yes, I'm so glad you said something. Okay, now, since we're gonna see what happens, guys. If some more information come out about the lawsuit, you know, I'm gonna hit you guys up and I'm gonna do a show and I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. So I'll do an update for the new year when I get more information on the lawsuit and everything and how it goes. Now, the next topic. Now, this is a doozy, and, you know, I have to give a disclaimer. People are going to be people. They are going to choose to do what they want to do. This topic right here is educational. It's informational, and it's truth. It is what's going on out there. Now, before I have the LGBTQ community at my throat, like for real, I don't need a bunch of chicks with dicks outside trying to boycott my damn show. Because
chicks with dicks, Lord have mercy.
Hey,
Look,
it is what it is. I say it all the time. I'm not gonna bite my tongue. I'm just not gonna do it now. But I will say,
disclaimer has been delivered.
Thank you. Now, me personally, this whole thing with the civil rights, transgender activist, transgender couple, Miles and Precious Brady Davis are expecting their first child. Anything you would like to say to this, Richard?
Yeah. Okay. So, Miles and Precious are expecting their first child. I think that's beautiful. That's awesome. However, here's the part that I have a bit of a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the general media and social media is treating this like the man is pregnant and the woman impregnated the man. So let's go ahead and clear this part up. Most of these individuals, I guess, are in the process of the hormone switches.
Yes.
But the female, or I'll say the trans woman who was born a man, who still has man parts, a.k.a. the ding-a-ling, the stick in the sack.
The dick.
Has gotten the trans man, a.k.a. the woman, the one who was born female.
With a pussy.
Pregnant. Now, to me, like I said, the pregnancy and childbirth, I believe, is a beautiful thing, because to be a parent is one of the biggest blessings in the world, bar none.
It is.
I'm the proud parent of a 17-year-old son that's the apple of my eye. So with
Right.
all that being said, my issue with the thing, I have two issues. Number one, every time that they want to show something along these lines, they're showing a black couple like that. Before somebody say, oh, it's not about race, it's not about race, in a way it is. If you're constantly showing black couples like that, that's quietly pushing that agenda, which, of course, outside of the pregnancy, it's also pushing a depopulation agenda.
That is also true.
Well, let's get back to the level of common sense here, okay?
That child gonna be confused as fuck.
Well, yeah, that. But more importantly, even before that, if you got a dick, she got a pussy, why the hell would y'all want to change genders in the first place? To do
Right.
what the Creator deemed natural for you to do.
It's like this last ditch effort. Okay, I'm a chick, but I want to be a dude. But before I do this, you know, I want to have a baby. Well,
And
yeah,
then decide
honey.
to have a baby
Yeah.
with a trans woman with dick. They still had sex. He still nutted in her.
Well,
And
actually they
bam,
did.
got pregnant.
Actually, they didn't do it that way. They did
They
the
didn't.
no. That's the kicker for me. Why the fuck go through all of that shit just to go do the turkey baster?
Are you serious?
Yes, I am dead ass. Yes.
I need a drink. Where's my Parmesan? Oh my god.
Well, I'm stuck with fruit punch right now. But yes, that's the gist of it. They went through the whole clinical deal and everything. Okay, so here we go. Now, and I mean, it's their choice to do this because it's their bodies,
Right.
but it's not natural. I'm going to say that. It's not natural. Okay.
Turkey baster.
It's right, turkey baster.
Now see,
They went through doing that. Now, it's called the IVF. And the statement, and here's the statement.
in vitro fertilization, yeah.
Right. I had to go off hormones just because I wasn't able to produce sperm because I had been on hormones. So it took about a year before we could even try the IVF process and conceive. They went to a couple's fertility specialist. Now, here's the big kicker. Now, transgender couples have two options. Option number one, to have a baby before surgery or hormonal stimulation, or they can wait and have a surrogate. Now, this is by the statement of Dr. Brian Kaplan. Now, he goes on to say, option number two, which he thinks is very important, is to plan in the long term. Let's say you are single, is to go ahead and freeze. So he telling you already, those are your only two options. A popsicle or have a baby before you have the
like
surgery.
The real deal.
Yeah.
Because he's basically saying, once you go through this, you can't do it on your own.
You can't. You can't.
And
So
once again, that supports the depopulation agenda.
right. Right. Now, this is the couple's statement. They said they wanted to share their story to help others see what is possible. We already know anything is possible. So you don't have to do this. You're choosing to do this because you want to put this shit out here. Is what that is. I don't care how they slice it, dice it, shape it, bake it, fry it, what. It doesn't fucking matter. You wanted your business out there, so you told your business. Now, they also went on to say, as a matter of fact, Precious, I want people to see that happiness is a possibility. Well, true, it is a possibility, but that depends on what type of happiness you're looking for. If you can be content with who you are and do the same damn thing, or you can go through all of this bullshit and spend all this damn money and confuse the fuck out of yourself, your family, your friends, the world, and your child. Because that child is going to ask questions.
Definitely.
Oh, so daddy, you had me? Oh, how does that work?
Right.
Mommy, you got daddy pregnant?
Explain that mess.
Mommy, you got daddy pregnant? Or are you going to lie to the child and say, oh no, mommy had you? Well, which one is mommy? Which one is really mommy? Like, okay, when you were born, which one was mommy? If you'd have did it the regular way, which one of y'all would be my mommy and which one of y'all would really be my daddy?
Total mess.
I mean, you have to not only think about your happiness, but you have to think about the happiness and the mental stability, the emotional stability of that child. You're you're literally pushing your lifestyle off on a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just your kid that you're having, but every other kid in society. Every other person is already feeling a little bit confused because they don't know who the fuck they are. You pretty much, telling them, hey, well, you know what? If you're a chick, you can be a dude. If you're a dude, you can be a chick. Or if you don't want to be anything at all, cut your dick off. I mean, it's a whole cesspool of shit going on. And this is really how I feel about this. And to me, none of these people are truly loving themselves for who they are. They are not content. They are miserable because they are choosing to be, which are leading to these extreme changes. And this is not helping society at all. And yes, you're right. They're pushing this agenda.
Yep. And for anyone who believes that they are not trying to push the agenda, look at this whole thing with, once again, another black man, Dwayne Wade's son. He called the son she.
A what?
Dwayne Wade's son.
What is he calling him? Or her?
She.
Okay.
Son of 12.
Okay. I got a question though. And I'm going to ask you this. What happens when all this stuff take place and then they're not happy with themselves after they make these changes and it's too late to go back? Is that happiness or is that regret?
I've read a few stories recently. Where some people are trying to switch back.
Yes, it's a lot of them. You wouldn't believe how many of them. They regret they ever did it. Yes. Like you spent all this money on all of this when you could have invested that money. You could be sitting somewhere comfortable right now.
Yep.
You should have just went and bought a damn dog and called it a day. Write a book. Make a quilt or something. I'm starting to feel like a lot of times people are bored. And when you get bored, you start doing shit. And to a certain extent, mentally, I don't think anyone really has it all together. I don't think they fully wrap their minds around what actually is and what actually is a healthy lifestyle and choice. You cannot complain that you're tired of eating bologna, so you decide you want to be fucking bologna. It don't make sense. Because that's the way it is to me. It's not making sense.
At all.
I mean, some stuff is sensible and some shit is just extreme.
Yeah.
It's extreme. And a lot of times this shit is unnecessary because these people, either taking hormones or taking testosterone. I mean, do you really understand what you're doing to your body as a whole, health-wise? You're causing a disorder to achieve this transformation. What is that going to do to your body in the long run? Are you going to live long enough to care? Right. Are you going to live long enough to care for this child? What effects is this going to have on the unborn child? Or after the child is born? You done flip-flopped. Whatever you put into your body or take away from your body changes your chemistry. It changes your cells. It changes everything. So what is it doing to them in the future, to the child in the future? What kind of health crisis is that child going to have to deal with? Are you burdening this child? You see what I mean? It's like this stuff seems very unhealthy to me. But I don't know. Tell me what you think.
It is unhealthy. To me, just my opinion. To me, there's nothing good about it. At all. Nothing at
Yeah.
all good about it.
Yeah. I mean, this is something, and going into 2020 with this shit here, I mean, oh my gosh. What are we going to be looking at? I mean, are we going to have a bunch of sexless people walking around? Is everyone going to be walking around looking like exactly the same, like aliens or some shit? What is this?
Hopefully not.
Where does it stop? When does common sense kick in? Like if you have issues with how you feel about yourself, seek therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Seek therapy. Take some time to really and truly think about this, because you cannot go back. You can't go back. You're stuck with I mean, you done got rid of the pussy, you done got a dick, now you don't want the dick. How you expect you supposed to get a pussy back? This shit is not gonna keep working well. These are artificial parts.
Right.
So it's like, if that's the case, so what next? You want a full new leg when there's really nothing wrong with your leg? You want new eyes even though there's nothing wrong with your eyes?
It's a mess.
It's almost like they're teaching children that, no, don't be satisfied with anything about yourself. Change everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems very unreal. It seems like something out of a horror movie.
That could be the way they're going to. Make it all a big horror movie.
It is, but you know what the real kicker is? If you're going to demand respect, demand it based on the fact of who you were born to be. If you cannot be happy with who you really are, which is how you were born, how you look, and all of that, you can't demand respect from me. You don't even respect yourself to love yourself enough to just be happy with what gifts, body, you were given.
Mm-hmm.
That's a slap in the maker's face. It's a slap to your mother and father's face.
Right.
It's a slap to the world as a whole. The world is not going to be able to continue when there's nobody to continue it, because you do not see a million white people running around doing this shit. They got enough damn sense not to do that shit. You got a few. There's a few in every race. There's a few. But for the majority part, no, you really don't see a whole lot of white people doing bullshit like that.
True.
And I'm not rocking with this fad shit, because to me, a lot of this is a fad. I'm not saying for all. Some people really feel like they are a woman trapped in a man's body, I guess. But this is whatever you tell yourself to think is what you're going to believe. So how about telling yourself, you know what? I accept me for how I was born, how I have been living. I have a healthy body. I have a healthy mind. Everything is functioning. So nothing's broke. So what am I going to try to fix? Something that's not broke for. But if a dude wants to turn into a bitch and suck a dick, you know what, dude, chick? That's up to you. You're the only one that's going to have to suffer any type of consequences, negative effects, or even free speech, you're going to have to endure it.
Yep.
And there are a lot of people out there who are being fucking followers instead of being leaders and going, I'm not doing that bullshit because y'all doing it. Oh, all y'all gay? Fine. That's great. I'm happy. I'm happy too. No, they're like, no, we want to suck a dick. No, we want to suck a dick in the ass. Oh, that's the type of happy y'all is. No, I'm going to be the regular, the original happy and just, love myself the way I am. But I digress because everyone has a choice. But don't complain when you make the choice and you're not viewed the same.
True.
You just can't. You just can't. You can't make anyone accept you if you don't accept yourself. And making these drastic changes like this, that's not going to force anyone to accept you.
It's not.
No. If anything, I'm going to have to back the hell away because you need to figure out what the fuck you want in life.
Absolutely.
Holler at me when you figure it out. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Oh my gosh, can you believe it is seriously about to be 2020?
In like 26 hours.
Yes, 26 hours. And we'll be in a new year.
And actually, 25 hours and 47 minutes.
And hopefully, the new year will bring an awakening for the masses.
I only hope so.
Because it's almost like this old movie I saw over the weekend. Oh, and I can't think of the name of it, but I'm gonna share it with you when I find it. It's an older movie about how aliens are pretty much came to Earth and they kind of took over, and they pretty much were changing everything and taking over everything, but everyone thought it was normal, and the only way to know who was what was to wear these particular type of shades. You could see through the facade.
They Live with Roddy Piper.
Yes, that's it. Say that one more time so everybody can get it.
The name of the movie is called They Live. It was starring Roddy Piper.
That's it. That's the one. You know exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
But it really made me think. And it's funny how it's an old movie, but it applies to the current times that we're living in.
See, that movie was one of the first movies that basically was telling people, hey, you might want to pay attention to what's going on.
Right. Because it is like that. Because nowadays, you can be walking down the street, driving down the street, somebody say something to you or somebody wave at you. You're trying to figure out if they're a boy, a girl, or both, or not. Or, what's the other one? Where they don't claim anything. They're just human. I mean, it's one of them things like, okay, can I get a pair of those shades so I know what it is I'm looking at, who it is I'm talking to, and what I'm dealing with? Because you really can't, you damn near can't tell anymore. And that's not a good look for the world. It's really not. It's not. It's like societies within societies within societies within societies within one world. And none of them damn near get along. So, I mean, 2020 has got to bring us a lot more hope, a lot more wisdom. And like I said, wisdom and knowledge to wake up the masses. To see truly what's going on around us. Call me crazy, but I think you're right. This shit is definitely going to get worse before it ever gets any better.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, going into 2020, what would you like to say to everyone?
Pay are not willing to give anything of themselves.
Right.
Because there are political candidates who, some of them automatically expect your vote. Think, oh, I'm going to get it because I was Obama's vice president. They think I'm going to get this vote because they're disenfranchised. I'm gay, so I'm disenfranchised. I can relate. No, you can't. And I'm talking about that mayor, what's his name, Pete Buttigieg.
Okay.
Mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
One who actually said something about the people who made the Constitution didn't realize that slavery was a bad thing. Like, what?
Wow.
Well, she already lost my vote before that.
It happens. People stick their fucking feet in their mouth.
And as far as who I would vote for right now, I don't know. Because, well, nobody is doing anything that's strictly going to benefit me. Right now, do I really care? I really don't, because I want to get up and go to work every day and make my money and make extra money so I can invest and do things of that nature anyway.
Okay. Well, let's see. What I would say to everyone going into 2020, love yourself enough to be able to love anyone else. Be truthful with yourself and others. Think before you act. Think before you respond. Save as much money as possible. If you're renting, save your money to buy the land and buy the home to go on the land so it cannot be taken away from you. Actually save for your children's college. Save for a rainy day. Be open and honest with everyone. That way everyone knows where you stand with them. There's no question. There's no doubt. You know what it is with everyone in your clique, in your family, who you work with, who you rock with. And most of all, be healthy mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's okay to be choosy. It really is. Don't fault anyone for their choices. Always try to give the best advice. And don't cause anyone else to stumble. Don't be a stumbling block for anyone else. So I think that kind of sums it up for me. Anything else you'd like to say, Richard?
No, I think that kind of covers it. Love yourself, pay attention to everything around you, pay attention to your surroundings. Oh, take care of your health. Your health is more important than you realize, especially the older you get. I just turned 50, and let's just say it's a bit of a challenge.
Right. I understand that.
Your health. Drink water.
I'm guilty. I'm
guilty.
guilty.
People who don't like water, get you a damn straw. Drink water. Seriously.
Wait, what the hell does the straw do? It doesn't change the... Well, water makes me nauseous anyway, so... But I still try.
To actually ingest more water.
Ah.
At a faster rate.
Okay. That's good to know.
A lot of people don't consider that. They're like, oh, I don't like water. I don't like the taste of it. But you know what? When you drink the water, it helps your body's functions.
It does.
Your body is like 70 to 75% water.
Yeah, if not a little more.
Whenever you get sick, it could be something that you're eating and you're coming up with an allergy. Replace it with water and you'd be surprised what all happens.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Thank you for that. I'm taking mental note here of that as well. You guys, yes, definitely, please drink more water. It is healthy for you. Now, if you're the type like me and drinking water actually makes you nauseous and you vomit and whatnot, Just try. If you have to put something, cut it with something, drink watered down drinks, because that's what I do. I do drink my drinks watered down, like Kool-Aid or stuff like that, or juice even. I'll put water in it to try to get it down, because Richard is right. Our bodies do need this. And
you only get one body.
Yes, you are so correct about that. You are so correct about that. Yes.
You only get one. You've got to take care of it.
Yeah, we have no choice in the matter. So, going into 2020, let's be healthy and positive and content and be true to yourselves and everyone you know. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show podcast. I wish you the best. And don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibes. And until next time, Happy New Year. Be positive. And just, have a good time. In the right way, of course. And thank you, Richard. As always, guys, definitely go check out his channel on YouTube.
More content on it. I really need to do that. Because I've been got to get much on there as I should. What better than change actually very soon.
Yes. So much love and respect to everyone. If you have not signed up, or should I say follow, I'm on YouTube, Tony on One, as well as check out Richard Agbu. Hit that notification bell. Yes, OGBU, Richard Agbu. Yes. Thank you all so much for your loyalty, your love. Be good. Till next time. Bye.